After months of exploring the idea, Ned Lamont has now officially announced he's running for governor. The Greenwich businessman says he's ready to get Connecticut going and growing. We spoke with Ned earlier today about being in it to win it. Thank you, Ned, for joining us today. I saw your announcement the other day, and that night when I reported on it, I called it fiery and focused on the economy. You talked a lot about Connecticut losing jobs, Connecticut losing graduates, qualified graduates, and you really tied those things together. Let's talk more about that. What is the connection between jobs and industry leaving Connecticut and graduates leaving Connecticut?
Well, I'm sort of a mild-mannered guy, actually, Lori, but I got fiery on the subject of job creation. I've spent most of my 25 years professionally, creating jobs. I started up a small business. We've hired hundreds of people over the years. And we're in a state that is dead last in the country in starting up businesses and creating jobs. That's why we have a budget crisis. That's why young people are leaving the state of Connecticut. And as I said at the announcement, that's not the history of Connecticut. This is a state that has always been entrepreneurial, positive, creating new businesses, new industries, invented the helicopter, invented the submarine. We got to get back that entrepreneurial energy.
So what is it? Because it's kind of like a chicken and an egg thing, right? I mean, are they leaving? Are the graduates leaving because the jobs aren't there? Or are the jobs leaving because the graduates aren't here? I mean, it's kind of both, right?
No, young people are leaving the state looking for, better opportunities, cities, and job opportunities. So I think as a governor, you focus like a laser beam on job creation. Vibrant cities, do what we can with all of our local businesses. Day one as governor, as I said, I'm going to go out and start talking to businesses, large and small. What do you need to grow? What do you need to expand? What do you need to start hiring again? That's how we'll start bringing our young people back to the state of Connecticut, and that's how we get our state going again.
And what do you think? You already have started speaking with businesses, and what are you hearing in terms of what they need? You had a great example in your announcement about Sikorsky going to Bozeman, Montana.
I did. I've been a professor at Central Connecticut State, so one of the things we do is we talk to all the local businesses and see what they need in terms of job training for folks. And a lot of the manufacturing folks had said we need engineers, we need electrical engineers, we need design engineers. And CCSU, Central Connecticut, went to the state and they said, no, we've got plenty of engineering programs. And then one day, Sikorsky announced that they were going to be moving one of their major research facilities out of state. They're going to move to Bozeman, Montana, because Governor Brian Schweitzer picked up the phone and said, what do you need? And as I said at the announcement the other day, come on, Connecticut, why are we losing to Bozeman?
Oh, that's right. I mean, and so what else do you think that we can do? I mean, I think expanding programs at universities is a good idea. What else can we do? Because we've been trying to address this brain drain issue for years now.
Yeah, I think we need a governor that thinks strategically about what are our strengths as a state. We have one of the best trained workforces, most productive workers, the whole Naugatuck Valley, to reinvent the next generation of green tech and engineering there. Life sciences, all in the Yale, New Haven, all the way up to New London. I mean, that's a great advantage for us because we've got great lab capability and research capability. Let's invest where we already have an advantage. That's how we'll keep those jobs.
Tell me what you think you personally have to make that happen, because I think that we've heard some of those ideas before from other people, but what is it about you that you think will go from ideas to actually action?
I think I'm the one guy that's done it in this race. I'm the one guy that has created jobs and created businesses. I think I know how to talk to the business community. I know what it takes to bring them back and help them grow and invest.
And this is switching gears, this is a much different race than the 2006 primary, which I was there with you when you won that. It was exciting. It was great. You were, then seen as kind of this anti-war guy, and you really mobilized this public that was looking for change. Do you think that your message nowadays, this message now about the economy, will appeal to those same voters? And do you think they are enough? How are you going to broaden your appeal beyond that?
I think in 2006, I stood up, I challenged Republicans and Democrats. I challenged the political establishment. I said we're making a lot of bad decisions as a country. It was the bridge to nowhere. It was health care. It was Iraq. And I think here in Connecticut, 4 years later, we have a different type of crisis. I think it's a crisis of confidence. There's a lot of folks who really think that our best days are behind us, and they are wrong. And there's also a lot of folks here who say, gosh, if we can just skate through this recession, we'll be back to business as usual. And they are wrong. So I'm in this race to tell people, let's start investing in our future again. Let's start investing in our young people. Let's start growing that economic pie. A governor can make a big difference there.
So obviously the economy and business, those are your big priorities. What other issues are high priorities for you in this?
Well, in and around jobs is education and transportation, because the state lays the foundation off of which great jobs can be created. And I think to date, we've spent billions on transportation over the last generation, and a lot of people aren't really seeing much progress there. So, as I've tried to say, we're going to focus our resources on places where we really think we'll get a return on our investment, a return in terms of job creation.
And you personally are going to focus many of your resources, personal money, on winning this race. Talk about, because that has become a hot topic, talk about why you're going to opt out of public financing and invest your own money.
Look, I believe in the clean elections. I'm a strong supporter there. It only works, though, if everybody is in it, Lori. And, most of the declared candidates have opted out. A couple of the Republicans are up. One of them's on TV right now. And I've said, look, you can't fight this battle with one arm tied behind your back. I've raised all my money in small money donations. We raised more than almost anybody else in small money donations. We're going to still go out there and show a broad base of grassroots support, but we're ready to compete and we're ready to win.
Is there any dollar amount that you're going to say, okay, well, that's it, I'm not going to spend $1 more?
No, we're going to raise as much money as we can, and no question about it. But at the end of the day, you got to see what the competition is doing and make sure that you're there to compete.
What do you think, just in general, about the number of candidates who are not only jumping into or exploring the governor's race, but even the Senate race? Because it's keeping me busy on the show. I've got a different candidate on every week.
Well, there's an awful lot of folks on the Democratic side who are exploring still. There's one candidate for governor, and that's me. But I will say I think Connecticut should be proud. We've got some good people running for Senate and governor. So while people are getting gloomy down in Washington, a little gloomy here in Hartford, woe was us, we're not going to get out of this, I think there are a lot of people who want to jump in and make a difference. I'd like the opportunity to make a difference. All
right. Well, good luck, Ned. Thanks for taking time with us. We're going to be following this governor's race. It's already turning out to be very spirited. Thanks a lot for being here.
Lori.
Ahead, UFL football is coming to Connecticut. We take a look at whether it's a sign of things to come for the local pro sports.